All right, new day. We're back out here right now, and we got to go to O'Reilly's and pick up a laundry list of stuff. One of the main things is we need longer bolts. These bolts aren't long enough to hook the shocks into the shock hoop up there and then down to that little bracket down there. So we need longer bolts that'll fit inside these spacers. So me and Dave are gonna head over there and grab that. We need to get power steering fluid. We need to get some gear oil and a few other things. I'm sure Dave will remember when we get there, but unfortunately it's a rough morning for Dave. Rolled up here today. He said he was driving his truck here. He was stoked. He's like, man, I got everything dialed in. He got here and there's oil everywhere. Something gave loose on Dave's truck and we're not exactly too sure what it is, but Dave thinks he might have an idea of what it could be. He thinks where the head and the block meet in the front, something didn't quite take when he just did all that work, and well, might have to do it all over again. We got all the supplies. We got some brake fluid. We got the bolts for the shocks. They're gonna go in the shock hoops and then that mount on the bottom. We got some gear oil for the front, and I need top offs in the back because I got some like a slow leak in there. So I'm gonna fix that eventually, but main focus is get the front on. That I can do later. Power steering fluid and then a pump for the gear oil to get that stuff in there. It was cheaper technically to buy this big bottle and have it for a while than get those like little teeny ones you gotta squeeze. Those things suck anyways. You can't like get it all out. All right, so right now we got the steering all tightened down for the bottom ones. The shocks are all in as you guys saw in that little clip, and we got the brake lines all tightened up. So now we're getting the steering box in, and we put the steering box in and we realized that I slightly messed up a little bit. I listened to my instructions, but I cut off everything on this frame, and I did not need to cut off what would go right here. There's a bolt hole that needs to go through here. It has to go in like something that would come off the frame right here, and I cut it off. So right now I'm gonna weld a piece of like flat stock or something like that to run a bolt through just to give it a little bit extra strength. And then Dave was saying right now the way this works, this is the pitman arm, and this is the one of the steering thing. What do they call this?
Steering arm or something?
Steering arm, but this has another steering arm that goes from here to there, and it has to go in the front one because Dave was telling me it has something to do with leverage, and then this pushes this back and forth.
That's how it works. Yeah.
So right now if we were to like go on a trail and it would flex up and they would hit each other. This one would hit this one, and then that would potentially possibly crack something up in here and you wouldn't have any flex. So right now Dave's gonna cut this right here and shorten this up so that it runs there without having any issues of these two hitting.
Yeah, it's not the best option. The other option is to just move the steering box forward, which is, I don't know, a huge pain in the ass. You can do it either way, but I've seen people do this, and I think it's fine.
Is there going to be enough leverage still and everything like that?
Yeah, I think it should be good. I don't know if you lose anything. I think you need to cut it like right here and at this angle. And then we'll chop this one clean across and then weld it like underneath it and just weld all around it. You got a marker?
Yep, we got some rigged up stuff going on here, folks. This is definitely not what you're supposed to do, but it's okay. Johnny's here now too. Johnny?
People do it all the time.
Johnny, turn your head for this. I know this is not... Well, you're supposed to just get the trail gear one, but we don't have time for that. We're just trying to get this...
You're not supposed to do anything. You do whatever you want. However you want.
Oh shit, did I grab it on side?
Something like that.
Hey, in porosity garage, that's just what you get, and you damn for sure know there's gonna be some serious porosity in this weld. I guess if that breaks, it's not the end of the world. It only controls your steering. It's really not that crazy. We just took the old drive shaft off. We're gonna put the new one on right now and see if it fits. We're gonna have to, if it doesn't work, what we'll have to do is we'll have to cut this one up and basically cut that off and then weld this single that's right here on over there, and it'll be good as new. So a lot of welding going on here, and I don't really know if we're doing a good job, but let's go check in on Dave's thing. This should work. That should definitely work. All right, Johnny just finished tightening up the bolts on the drive shaft. Dave approved. It looks like it spins good. It looks like it's got a decent, you know, angle to it. Doesn't look too crazy. So we'll see how it works. If we gotta switch some stuff up down the road, we can. But up next, we gotta weld real quick this piece of square tubing right here to right here, so that eventually, whenever I do my steering box, I can drill through that and have something to put a third bolt into. All right, so I decided to do something a little different. I actually took a piece of bracket that was left over there and somehow cut it down and got the holes to line up. So now we have a welded in new bracket. It's got a lot of that slag shit on there, but it should be fine. Looks good from afar, but far from good. Check it out. That's actually the coolest thing I've ever self-fabricated ever. That little bracket. It's the only thing I've ever self-fabricated. Oh, it doesn't fit.
Yes. I guess.
All right, now this is where I'm definitely gonna need Johnny's help because I don't know jack shit all about this kind of stuff. I took a brake line out of here and took a brake line out of there, and we gotta hook those, or not brake line, power steering line. We gotta hook the power steering lines back up to the new steering box. Then that should be good. Then we gotta hook up that, what do they call that thing? That's like the steering rod that connects for your steering box to your actual steering wheel.
Vernacular?
That's not it. That's definitely not it. What is it called? Steering rod?
Steering shaft.
Steering shaft? Steering rod, steering shaft.
Steering column?
Column stick shaft.
Steering column. Put that on there. That hooks up all the way over there, and then that should be good. Then we got to do the brakes, bleed them. I got to put my back drive shaft back in. Air up the tires. Whew, we'll be ripping. We got pretty much everything ready to go right now. Shocks, all that stuff's done. Literally everything is done. Everything's tightened up in the front end. Brakes are done. We're losing daylight right now, so all we have to do the next day we got some light is put this one brake, or this one power steering line back on, put some clamps on it, put some brake fluid in, put some power steering fluid in, steering column, and oil in the diff. Put a little bit more in the back one because it's been leaking out while sitting here, and I got to fix that on another day. But
Then you're gonna flapper wheel those.
oh, those ones things.
Out.
Yeah.
You gotta go through and oil up all your tie rod ends. You want to put fluid in your alternator, and then balance the drive shaft.
Look at this one right now. Talking shit, sit with his vape in his little pin jacket and shit like this motherfucker right now.
You believe
Like,
all of it?
no, until you said alternator fluid, I was like, well, maybe the flapper will.
I should have just told you, yeah, you got to resurface the disc, and just made you sit here and do it.
Just watch me resurface them. I can see maybe that. That one I fell for.
Another week.
Yeah, literally. All right, it's go time. Getting the tire aired back up. Gotta bleed the brakes. That's it. Probably should check to make sure all this shit's tight, but yeah, they're starting to stiffen up a bit. They're starting to stiffen up a little bit, yeah.
A lot of air.
We're getting so close. Holy shit, we did it. It doesn't even look that raised up in the front. You can tell that the wheels are definitely a lot more forward now. Give me a shit ton more clearance right there, which is awesome. All right, let's crank it up. Let me back around the garage real quick. Hey folks, we got ourselves an empty garage because she's out of the garage, baby. All we gotta do right now is we're just filling up the tires with some air. It's got like a slow leak that I gotta figure out. But she's ready to go. We're about to take her for a maiden voyage. Oh my God, I'm so stoked on how this thing came out. Let's hope everything goes good. It's been a long few weeks. I mean, we didn't really like try to rush to get this done. We just kind of tinkered with it when we had time. But I really owe a huge thanks to Dave and Johnny. Like, these guys taught me so much. Learned a lot more about welding, learned a lot more about my truck, and now the hard work paid off. Got the axle swap done, and some things that a lot of people wish they could do, we now have done, and we did it all ourselves, which is kick-ass, man. Dax, you ready for some off-road adventures starting soon?
Just bump it. A little more. Back up a little. Yeah, put it in park. Pull the parking brake.
It looks good. Like one of those dudes that posted a photo of like when I put the forklift up.
I gotta see what hits and what hitting. Bump stops are almost there. Still, springs will settle more, but yeah, style.
That's pretty damn sick, dude. Never in my life did I think that that would be what my truck looks like. Jesus. Wow. That's awesome, dude. Really is, man. Holy shit. We did it. We officially did it. She didn't blow up when I did that. Drive shaft works pretty good too. Ooh, first fill up. Woohoo! Feels good. Put some gas back in this girl. Gas gauge don't work, but hey, it's all right. Nah, it kind of does. But not really dope. Hey, Dax. What do you think? Pretty dope, huh? Hey, check out that sticker back there, though. As you can see, we obviously made it back to the house all safe and sound. The truck felt great. I'm not even joking with you guys. It felt 10 times better than it ever did with the IFS setup. I don't know if something was going wrong with that the entire time, but it felt like garbage. And this is one of the smoothest drives I've ever had in my 4Runner since I've owned it. So thankful for all the help from my friends. Yoda Masters for helping me out get some info on putting this thing in and all the parts that I would need. And just so stoked how much I learned in this entire process. Never in my life a year ago would I think that I would, within this year, put in a motor in my truck and then do an axle swap on my truck as well. I've learned so much about my truck and the 4Runner, working with Dave, Johnny, and all my friends. And this has been so much fun. It's definitely been something that I've learned to love, kind of just like riding. So I'm going to hopefully post up more videos of us actually going off-roading in the near future with my 4Runner and Dave's truck and Trey's truck. Right now, we got a lot of build stuff going on between Trey's backyard, and then we got some Sparky's ramp stuff that we're going to be doing soon, and then right again after that, it's going to be Swamp Fest. So busy couple months, so whenever you can squeeze in maybe an off-road video, I'm going to try my best to, but I'm stoked. I just got to drive the hell out of this 4Runner now. All right, I'm out. One last reminder, if you guys want a 5 for $50 box, they're live on the site still. Only a very limited amount left. I think there might be like 2 or 3 in each category, so go grab one. All right, now I'm out.